Last time on Fabula Ultima, The Rot. The travel that we had was relatively uneventful. However, Albel had compiled a list of all the aggressors towards Cyrus in an attempt to give it to him to help him with his past. We found out that Logan is Albel's husband's name. He was a lower-ranked bone eater, married for a year, and then all hell broke out, and she hasn't seen him in 6 years. He's living with kids, and he is... I didn't finish that note. We'll come back to that one. The book plan has become a go as we have given out, as Atlas gave Albel a book to separate out through everybody else so that we had some sort of a distraction plan just in case the Empire decided that they were going to come and start some shit. Albel blew up the toilet on Atlas one time and jail happened and Cyrus bailed us out and unfortunately Lancius is learning about the birds and the bees in a weird way. We ended up meeting up with Armon, the leader of the Silver Lions, as Atlas absolutely dragooned onto his cart. We ended up having a meeting where we found out that most of the Lions were supposed to be out on missions, but they were all called back to the base before they were unfortunately assassinated. Following in with Armon and his team, we ended up going into a tavern that... What was the tavern's name? Something.
8 Fairies Inn.
Thank you. It's somewhere in here. The 8 Fairies Inn, where Armon decided he was going to try and get some information. Cyrus as well. Unfortunately, the team had began to think that he was getting a little bit shifty and things were getting a little weird. Meanwhile, Atlas was outside getting weird with the Raptors as they were nomming all the fuck over him. Why won't they be my friend? Eventually, everybody came out and we decided to have a group meeting where we went to an abandoned house that Atlas used to use when he needed to calm down from the adventures. We had a small talk about how we're a bit worried about this new adventure and what we're going into and the possibility of some of us not surviving the night. Atlas told everybody that it's okay and then proceeded to pump up our team, knowing full well that Albel and Lancius were watching his back. He knew that they could take on anything. But in the meantime, the ultimate spear and the ultimate shield would be on the inside. We also had 2 identity crises as Atlas passed off Albel and Lancius as Rebecca and Nelwyn Greenleaf, merchants who were on their way to sell scrap that we had gotten from the airship. And we would rejoin ourselves back at that house.
Also, the leader of the Silver Lions is sus as fuck.
It's like Armand is Armand. Yeah.
Armand, yeah.
Armand is sus.
Sus.
Well, there goes my monitors. I'm glad it waited.
It did. You're still there.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm here, but I am most certainly not anywhere else.
Well, we can see you.
Sick.
If we lose Spike, it's because he's losing his video card.
It's like no other reason.
No other reason.
Paladin, can you bring me a pencil, please? Oh, keeper of the pencils.
Fixed it.
Hey.
Nice. All right, so we're back at that house.
Back in the safe house.
A bachelor pad.
It's like back at the spot where a guy is trying to impress a girl and he says he knows a spot. And
right.
The dingiest
The
hole in the wall.
I would appreciate if you didn't expand upon my proclivities.
The rats are demanding rent from him. Thank you, darling.
No, they just want cheese.
Yeah, the rats don't pay. They demand rent, actually. They demand compensation for their space.
Oh, goddamn, he really does know how to jump a spear.
You guys are going to assume what animals say in Lancius. So you'll be like, yeah, that's right. That's exactly what they said. And it's not what they said.
Quack.
I need the duck sound effect for my stream, and it's all y'all's fault. God damn it.
All right, so are we going back to the inn where they bought us a room, or are we going into the city? What are we doing?
I think we should not go back there. I do not wish to go back into the den of lions, as it were. Lol. Pun.
You are free to stay here. There's no one who will come and find you here.
Okay.
I think we kind of fell onto we are all kind of aware. Armand might be sus, but I think Atlas, you are choosing to trust him. Yes. If he does some bullshit, he's going to do some bullshit, and perhaps being on the outs like this may look more suspicious. But to be fair, whether he decides to make his move or not, I think it will be a problem to come sooner or later.
Giggity.
If he decides to make a move. So if he does, I think we should at least be together.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Atlas, if we cannot stop you from going back to the inn, then I will come back with you.
I will be happy to have you at my side. And we already have the rooms paid for. So, there's that.
Did he just get us one room to share?
It was 2 rooms. One for the happily married couple and one for us. But I'm almost positive that Albel won't let us sleep in 2 rooms.
I recall Albel said that he offered 2 separate rooms, and then Albel said no, get us one big room, and we got one communal room.
Yeah.
She wants
I want my
bodyguard.
protectors with me, my bodyguards.
Yes.
I just go where you guys tell me.
Head pats.
So we'll head back to the inn if there's no objections. If we need to flee, we at least know that this place is here.
Yeah. Well, everybody just get ready for a fight.
Always are.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll head back to the inn. Talk about what shifts. I'll probably take a... Well, I don't know how late it is. Depending on how late it is, I'll take a...
Wait, can we lock the door?
We can. It's like, I'm sure we can.
So
But I'm gonna go party
instead of having a watch, just put one of the beds in front of the door, and if the door opens, it'll wake everybody up.
How am I supposed to get the room service in there?
When the room service comes, we'll move the bed.
There's egg everywhere.
God.
We just hear tumbling outside the door because it's just like they're just like, we're just gonna walk in, just like take the.
I don't know if anybody else will get this, but you'll just hear, how the fuck did it get on the roof?
What?
Okay, so it's late. Lancius tired. Let's go.
Tired boy. Sweet tired baby.
I'm gonna go party it up with the Silver Lions for a bit, have a couple drinks for our fallen comrades.
That's fair.
Sweet boy.
So
All right.
All right.
I'm going to
Head
take
back
some
to the
time
inn.
to work once we get back there on the project.
Which project was that?
The Dragoon apparatus to get Atlas up there to the height.
How many days have you been working on that again?
2?
2?
I want to say? Not even?
Well, if it's been 2 days, then today would be the final leg of it, and you should be able to wrap it up.
Okay.
Well, we were looking for mithril, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we are looking for
materials,
mithril.
yeah.
You needed that. That's right. You needed that material still. So once you have that material, then you have one more production day. That's right. That's right.
The minute we get into the room, Lancius just falls face first onto a bed, and you hear snoring.
Squeaker
him
starts
in.
crawling out from underneath his body.
Oh, I forgot about squeakers. We do have
Tucking
squeakers,
him
don't we?
in.
They're like, just
There's
nope.
There's a glass of water by the bedside. I put squeakers on his pillow. All right, you two, go to sleep.
Certainly been a long day.
Mm-hmm.
It has at that. Okay.
If you need
Okay.
any assistance with your project,
You can hang out. She turns over her little notebook that she's been sketching in, and it looks like just a mess hodgepodge of calculations and all of this. And she says, the good news is we don't actually need very much mithril. If I can get 3 pounds of it, which I don't know how many bars that is, the apparatus itself, he'll be able to wear it under his clothes. So nobody's going to know that he's got it. The hard part is I don't think I can make springs out of mithril, which means we've got to go tear apart that airship scrap. It also probably won't be terribly quiet. If there are people like within 6 feet of him, they're gonna hear the springs activate. We work with what we have.
Let them know I'm coming. I want them to know that death approaches.
Yes, but I really don't want to associate you with. It's not in a bed. It's you hopping around like a dipshit.
I mean, I'm down in the bar.
Either way,
I'm down in the bar, but just remember, you're gonna hear.
Yeah,
And then the following voice is gonna be.
Someone's gonna.
Oh!
Either way, someone's gonna know he's coming.
My body's gone now.
Spear inside someone who just screamed, "I'm coming." I heard.
Well, I think we're far enough away from this town if we need to salvage.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not we run into more soldiers is a different issue.
If Falcon engines, it's more than likely that they'll be dropping more troops on us before we realize it. If they haven't already strengthened their forces here, it will happen in the next couple days. I can't recommend staying here particularly long. If they were already showing up across that distance, this town is probably thicker with soldiers than we think it is.
At least by morning it will be. And I can imagine if a distress signal went out, then we're going to have to be on the move soon.
Very soon. And you and I have no way of knowing what their forces are made up of right now. We know the machine that I made. We know the experiments that failed. But we don't know where they've come, how far they've come since then. What if they do have something fully functional? You can't fight or outrun soldiers that don't get tired. If they don't eat, they don't drink, they don't sleep, they don't need rest, they can't complain, they'll drive them into the ground. So the further we can get ahead, the better.
I said the bodies will fail. What about the machines? They'll run them into the ground, but how much further will that take them?
They'll actually take better care of the machines. The machines are more expensive than human life. So I would imagine they'll have mechanics that won't be drugged or controlled. It's a mechanic. They have to be able to look at a thing and figure it out on its own. So, oh my God, Cyrus. Any contingent of Magitech armor is going to have a small squad of mechanics with 1 leader. Now, that squad is never going to get any bigger than 6 men, but it will always be with the vanguard. They have to keep them running. So you'll see the line of armor, and then right behind it is going to be a small contingent of soldiers, and they will be disguised. They are going to look like normal foot soldiers, but they're going to walk in a very specific formation. Anytime we run into any kind of forward advancement with Magitech armor, if we take out the 6 men right behind it, we can stall them for days. No other soldiers in any particularly large platoon, squadron, they're not going to know what to do. Those are foot soldiers. They're not mechanics. Oh my god. Oh my god! And she, like, pulls out paper and she starts scribbling really, really fast.
You see he's trying to connect dots with what you're saying. He's just like,
If they
take out the grunts.
And she starts going on. If they can't fix the hydraulics or cool the engines or put them back together, it doesn't take much to stop an armor if you hit the weak points, which naturally are the joints. And if there are only 6 men per squad, and she's like going off and she's off in the weeds a little bit. Believe it or not, a Magitech armor, especially the bigger that it gets, is relatively delicate. They're not meant to take fire. They're not meant to be facing a secondary siege force. They can't handle their own fire, which is why that squad of mechanics is so important. We have a plan. I have a plan! Oh my god, I have a plan! That's going to depend on if they put armor in the town already, though, but that's... Huh. And then she's just, like, gone babbling, trying to figure this out, like, in her head, having a whole conversation.
He'll just think to himself, maybe a separation. If there's 2 types of... He's just going through different trainings. He's like, okay, divide and conquer.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just watching Albel kind of pontificate, and he's just trying to pick up different things.
She slams her pen down on the table very suddenly and turns and looks at him and goes, if you want to cut the head off the snake, you have to stop the snake first. The head of the snake is the supply line and the ability to repair.
You take the support out first.
You take the support out, which is the mechanics. And once the mechanics are out, they can't progress. Magitech armor are tough, but they are not well designed to support their own weight. The Emperor deeply enjoys form over function, and while they are mighty, their weak point is that they're ridiculously overwrought in design. So just marching for a day with this contingent of armor, those things have taken damage. If we can cut them off, we can shut down an entire squad of armor. I need to make sure you all know what mechanics... I have to teach you guys exactly everything I know right now, very, very quickly. Okay, not everything, but I have to teach you how to recognize what the Emperor's squadrons look like, what the call signs are, all of that. It likely hasn't changed. It's only been 6 years.
Well, I have all night.
All right, and she starts laying out immediately the different types of uniform for each different type of rank. What the mechanic's crest looks like, all kinds of stuff. The weak points on armor.
Just for quick reference, Lantius is sleeping, Atlas is down in the bar.
Mm-hmm. I'll teach you one at a time, I don't care.
Good thing Lancius is asleep, or he would be so confused right now.
What is the bottom?
If they taught us anything, it was how to memorize specific commands.
Mm-hmm.
This will be fine. If I need a call for the others, I'll figure it out.
We'll cross the bridges when we come to them, but any kind of preparation prior is...
Can cause the difference.
Yep.
Can turn the tide.
You can never prepare too much. I learned that the hard way. Mm-hmm. So... It's easier than it looks, and she's like drawing crests and all kinds of stuff. Mostly you want to look for smaller details that might look like everything else. For instance, a mechanic's badge is going to be silver rather than gold. They might wear a green jacket instead of the typical yellow, but it will look maybe they'll dress them up to look like sharpshooters. They'll all have rifles, but they are just mechanics.
And he's just pouring through notes, committing different things to memory.
Yeah, so she's laying all this nonsense out, more and more paper. And she's like, wait a minute, I gotta slow down because Lancius is not gonna be able to read this. And then she starts like writing a little bit more reasonably. No more chicken scratch and wingdings for you.
He's like, no more notes. Now we have manuals.
A textbook. This is a textbook. And then she like reaches over into her bag and pulls out the technical manual for a Magitech armor, and she just grins and then looks over at Lancius and goes, "This is the meanest prank in the world, but I'm gonna do it." It's like loaded with terms that make no sense.
It was like I don't think he's even gonna read it. I don't know if
Like
he'll be able to read it.
Anybody who opened that book, it would look like an engineering textbook for dynamics instead of statics. Like it looks like a different language entirely. And then she's like clipping together the rest of the notes so he can easily go through them later.
Yeah, it's like go to page 47, go to page 53, go to
It becomes a choose your own adventure. And she just goes, I'm giving it to Atlas too. This is gonna be great. Anyway. Well, now what concerns me is what does Armand know that we don't? I don't like that part. The way something about his behavior is wrong. Extremely wrong. I've never met this man. But I can't even say it's suspicious. It's just uncanny valley wrong. Like he doesn't really know how to lie without a 1,000-yard stare.
It is possible that he just doesn't know how to process what has happened.
I'm familiar with that, but I don't know. Something's not right.
I think on the line as a soldier, you are used to your comrades falling right beside you, but hearing a mass assassination is a different kind of thing you have to process.
I've seen them. I've seen them in action. The Emperor commits genocides. He goes after whole cities, and he doesn't necessarily invade them, he destroys them. Then he builds on top of them, whatever he wants.
And when you're the head of an organization how could you think it would fall?
That I can't speak to. I've never fully... My position of control was still controlled by someone else. I can't imagine what Armand is going through, or what he might be going through, but even then, I'm probably just paranoid.
I think it's right to be rightly paranoid. I think all we can do is believe in Atlas, who believes in Armand, and if the time comes, we'll be prepared.
I'll believe in Atlas, but I'm not trusting Armand. If Atlas survived a toilet exploding, I'd be stupid if I didn't believe in him.
If he could survive you, I think he's a little sturdier than most.
This is true. This is true. You should have seen Logan when trying to ask me to marry him. That was funny. He thought I was going to shoot him. Almost did. I had the gun out. Loaded, cocked. Didn't name it. Probably should have. Would have scared him. Worth it. You'd like him. I think you'd like him.
It's a brave man you seem to have found.
Well, apparently he's taking care of 6 children right now. He's got... I've never met them, but he's got a place that it's almost like a boarding house, he says, not fully an orphanage. And they're not trying to adopt out the children. And there's only 3 or 4, I think 4 now, adults that live there. Small town, very small town. And it's kind of attached to a hospital. It's strange. It's really strange. I don't until I go there, I have no idea exactly what he's trying to what he's saying is going on. And the kids are new. He only got them. They only showed up 2 years ago.
As you're
I'm worried.
Okay. As you're like expounding on that, like working through the confusion, it's just like why, how. You'll look over at Cyrus in a seldom bit of like affection, for lack of a better word, but more of just like a more reminiscent. He's just like little places like that, I guess, pop up all over the place.
Especially where he is. It's on a southern continent. From what I've heard, continent is a word for it, and it's not particularly southern, but it is a few days sail from here, and on a steamship at that. But
And good
they
to know that
hamstrung
there's
him.
still people that can still
They
do that work.
they hamstrung him for me leaving. They cut the hamstring on his left leg, and he's got a brace because of me. And now an army of children that he apparently chases around somehow. I wonder if he has wheels. If he doesn't, I can make them. I'll take you down there to meet him sometime.
With a kind of slip of the tongue, he'll chuckle and say, "We're not that bad."
Atlas, how's drinking going?
Chug, 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 chug.
Drinking has been going pretty well so far. I've already arm wrestled at least 3 people and chucked one of them over the bar. It's so far all friendly banter. But past that, there's also a conversation that will probably happen with Armand, asking what his plans are tomorrow. What kind of a meeting are we planning on having? And what should I be prepared for?
So Armand's going to be, he's at the bar with you. He's pretty buried in his drink. And you get more of the shell shock type feeling off of him more than anything. Very distracted. Just really highly distracted about everything that's going on. The meeting tomorrow. Well, initially they said they were just bringing it. Initially it was for that, that one time. Oh God, what did I say? How was I wording this last session? It's it's that meeting where they go over the new contracts and the rules for how the mercenary companies are going to function inside the
It's concordance.
Concordance. There we go. So initially I thought it was just going to be a repeat of that, but with everything with all the news you've brought in, I don't know.
Are you going to be all right?
I think the best thing right now would be, because I'll be fine, but part of me wants to skip out on the meeting thinking it's all a trap, but what if it's not?
Then we find out together. Do they plan on stabbing us or trying to ask for our aid? We handle it as things go. A regiment just died. Somebody's going to have to answer for that.
Well,
maybe they even have information on it.
Well, the heads of all the other companies in the companies in the area are going to be there. At least they should be. This isn't, a lone affair.
There is a curious question.
What's that?
I wonder if the Empire has any knowledge of those contracts that went out on us, the bounties. And Atlas will produce the bounty that he got from Amara and show it to Armon.
He's gonna take it and look over it. And I haven't seen any of these at any of the other towns along the way, and we haven't seen any of this since we've gotten here, which is curious. Why would you have it localized?
And for the most part, your town adventures have been unmolested.
We had a very uneventful, couple monsters here and there, but we did see an increase in airship traffic.
Airships are the way how they're traveling.
But
so, anything.
We passed through three villages, and since we've gotten here, we haven't seen any of these up on any of the boards, and town guard, nobody's said a thing.
I think my only worry is that the airship that tried to apprehend us was flying Kholigen banners. And we did dispatch 4 of their men.
That is
it was fight or flight. Our lives are theirs.
Oh, I'm not going to criticize what was done. But that is something we need to be concerned about, because if they were Kholigen troops, Empire plants, or allies of the Empire within Kholigen.
Does this pin mean anything to you? And I'm going to show him a drawing that Atlas took of the pin that the Kholigen troops were wearing, which is a pin of the Empire.
Well, yeah, that's... I think everybody knows the sigil of the Empire. I think that would be pretty common knowledge in the world.
Well then, perhaps the Empire is, perhaps Kholigen then is already aligned with the Empire, or perhaps they have plants inside of them. Either way, it's going to be something we're going to have to deal with. Perhaps it would be best if you took me as an offering. Binds that are easy for me to escape in case things go south.
I think maybe if we just play it by ear initially, see if that's even necessary. Like I said, we haven't seen any of these wanted banners since we've gotten into town.
Sure, I suppose if they do make me think of it.
We are in the capital.
If they do make us think of it, we can talk about the crimes. Find out what the terms of this arrangement are. Either way, it seems that tomorrow will be rather eventful. As always, my spear is at your side.
It's good to know. So no survivors.
None.
When we finish up here, we should try and send word out to any of the other groups that were dispatched. See if some of them didn't return. Rebuild if we can, somewhere different, a little bit more, a lot more fortified, somewhere secret.
It would be wise. They do have carriers here. Though, If Kholigen has already aligned itself with the Empire, we might just be sending Kholigen's Empire spies to our men who are already in the fields.
That's why I said we should wait till after our business here concludes.
I've got a friend who happens to be very skilled in Magitech. They might be able to make some type of a messenger bird system.
That could work. We do have and he reaches into his armor and pulls out a scroll, and he's like, I have all the coordinates, or towns where these people were sent.
Good. If I can get that, I'll see if I can get it off to somebody.
He's gonna hand them over.
And I will take the scroll. I'll see you in the morning.
Agreed. And he's gonna grab up his big old mug of whatever he's drinking. I'm gonna head to bed. And he points up to one of the rooms. He's like, I'm up in that one. And he's gonna head up into it.
All right. And I will return to the room. As I do, when I open up the door, I'm going to take the notes and I'm going to hand them off to Albel. Odds are you're going to wake up earlier than I am. Give this to Lancius in the morning.
Oh, this poor child.
I
She's
I need him to send out letters to these people. I want him to warn them that things are going to go south. I told Armon that there was going to be Magitech birds that would fly out these letters. And there will. But they will be after Lancius sends out his messenger birds.
No. Okay.
If we want to make sure that things are going to go according to our plan, and if you are right that Armon does not have our backs, then best to be prepared.
Exactly.
They'll be looking for Magitech birds, not natural ones.
It's a good plan. And she picks up her sheaf of paper, which thankfully is only like 4 pages, and she hands it to him and the manual for the Magitech armor and says, here, educate yourself.
You know I've been drinking all night. This is going to be a foreign language to me until the morning.
And you'll be hungover in the morning, and it will still be a foreign language then, too.
No,
So if you can remember all of this while you're drunk and take it in as best as you can, we might actually survive.
Albel,
Hmm.
we will be all right. There's not a problem I haven't encountered yet that I couldn't take down with my spear.
This is true. But we could get ahead of the game and not have to take things down. Less fights, more chance at survival. I'm just saying.
What I'm saying is I don't think the Magitech armors are going to be in town at the moment. But don't worry, I will read your books. I will commit them to heart.
She pulls the manual out. Not this one. That one. That's the real one. That's what you need.
But that one had the pretty pictures.
Oh, okay, here.
I see why it had the pretty pictures. Take it back.
Although if you want, I will teach you how to pilot. Fun. Easier than they make it look.
We'll
Put
see.
a horn on it. You know, bike handle streamers, a basket.
Until then, Cyrus, it's going to be me and you in the morning. We may end up having to answer for some crimes that happened in Amara, but we'll come to that bridge when we get it. And I
wouldn't be so worried. I don't know if they're so worried about mercenaries doing what they do.
We have as much information on them as they have on us.
Yeah.
So the tables are fairly even at the moment. Now it's just a matter of diplomacy.
Yeah. Unless they know about some very recent events, I think we'll be okay.
Until then, Shall see you both in the morning. And Alice is gonna go lay down on the bed. The one like closest to the door. In case shit goes down, he wants to be the first to spear. Good morning. How are you doing?
Guten Tag, fuck boy.
You don't have orange juice.
The Guten Morgen, motherfucker.
The door opens. I throw my spear. I miss entirely. I destroy the door. I'm like, what? How did this duck get in here?
I'm telling you, the duck is the villain. He's the BBEG.
Also, how dare you doubt me, dragon? How dare
Listen,
you doubt me?
I was offended. I was offended. It's like all Lancius does is animal shit and shoot a bow.
And be baby.
And you shoot bows real good. We're gonna need that. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
All right.
Absolutely.
Does
sorry.
everyone go to bed then?
Everyone's
Yes.
in bed.
Yes.
Uneventful night. You wake up. All wounds healed. All status effects are erased, just like in typical JRPG fashion.
I will assign another bond, for I am bonding.
Yes. Any bonds you want to assign, just remember, you can assign any bonds to any people, but you can only have one from each side of the equation. So you can have as many bonds of loyalty as you want, but you can't have loyalty and mistrust on the same person.
Nah, we're gonna create one. I'm good.
Okay.
Keep my.
I don't. Are you sure you don't want to create a bond of mistrust towards fucking Armon?
Holy shit,
Lancius
thank you.
doesn't mistrust him. Everybody else distrusts
I'ma
him.
do it. I'ma do it.
I don't.
Yeah, Lancius is just like, everybody doesn't trust him. Okay.
Does Squeakers trust him?
Quack. Oh, wait, wrong. Squeak!
Which means
Shit, the duck is in control.
I make a bond towards squeakers, actually.
Armand
What
is
the
working
duck-
for the
we
duck.
Did we name the duck? Is it just going to be the duck? Because that's
It's just gonna
great.
be
the duck.
I make a bond towards the duck.
Okay.
You
Really
can make a
quick.
bond toward
Bond of hatred towards the duck.
Okay, if you need a quick smile that makes this even better, in engineering, a lot of sciences, that kind of thing, there is a concept called the duck. A bunch of scientists will just get a rubber duck or some figurine.
We're both
Are you
CS
okay?
majors.
Oh, we're both CS
Okay.
people.
Okay, so
Don't
you
you
know
worry.
the duck. Does
Don't you
anybody not
worry.
know the duck? The duck is important.
Yeah,
Okay.
please illustrate the duck.
Hell yes. Okay. It is a rubber duck that you put on your desk or tape to the computer tower, and you talk to the duck when you need to work things out in your mind. And it is proven to work. It is insane. So either the duck is the villain. Oh, see, there's the duck. Okay, thank you. You guys understand.
Everybody show the ducks.
I already showed that. The duck is important.
Rubber ducky. You're the
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So either the duck is the BBEG or
Is the ultimate solution.
the ultimate solution. Thank you.
Although I also have one of duality, as you can see.
Oh.
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 I'm a grower, not a shower.
All right.
So we have a bond
God.
of mistrust from Albel to Armand.
Armand.
Atlas is going to do a bond of affection towards Albel.
Aw.
Kind of the touch that she cares about him. Lancius, no bonds, right?
Not creating any new ones.
Okay, Cyrus, any bonds?
No bonds. I'm not going to do it. Not
All right.
going to do it.
Lancius, bond to the duck so we know when we're in danger. Wait.
Yeah, do your bonds mean
Lancius
more?
always
Do your bonds
knows
mean
what
more
the
with
duck is
animals?
saying, but he doesn't tell anyone.
Thank you. I need that bit of lore. That makes me so happy. Also,
wanna-
yeah, there's
Because he can speak, he can understand and speak with every animal.
If Atlas does perish, I will be bringing in a not human who only bonds with organs, because more bonds with organs means more human.
Oh, God.
Mm.
I don't like that at all.
That's
I
an
don't like
Invaders
that
Zim
either.
reference.
We're gonna have to visit a lot of churches.
It's an
That's
Invaders
gonna
Zim
be-
reference.
Will we be able to? Is the question.
More
The
organs.
duck,
means more
oh
human.
God. Oh no, husband. The duck should not remind us of Gunther from Adventure Time. Listen,
Absolutely.
I'm not unsaying it.
You are truly a thing of pure evil. Join me in my adventures.
Absolutely.
Quack.
All right. It's morning. What are we doing now, everybody?
That's what I need to know.
Handing
We
you
are-
the instruction manual and the 4 pages I wrote.
We
There you
have
go.
we have manuals and we have an audience.
Lancius is just staring at it for like an obnoxious amount of time without flipping any pages. And then he just closes it and hands it back to you. Goes, nah.
I look at Lancius and I'm just like, find the colors. Know the
Find the
colors.
Just know the colors, honey. You're gonna be fine. She
It's
like
like
takes
it's
it
like
back.
I only know. It's like I only know so much more. Look for these. If I need you to shoot these, can you shoot these?
Just
It
point
took
and say shoot.
It took a literal decade of training to be able to do this.
Just tell me what to shoot. That's
Can
the
do.
best option. All right. What is the plan today? So
We're going to
okay.
accompany Armand.
I need mithril.
So yeah, I thought there
Now
was a
that
trip
Ah.
to a junkyard for starters.
We are junkyard or the airship.
Yeah. However, this needs to happen.
We can go see if there's mithril in the junkyard. If it's closer. Otherwise, we're going to the airship, boys.
Well, the airship is all the way that way.
I see your point.
We traveled multiple days to catch up to our Armand and get here. We'd have to travel multiple days back to get to the crashed airship. We have parts. If there's no mithril in this, we're gonna have to go to a junkyard. Or nah, we're just not gonna play with that option right now.
She's like, okay, well, get your breakfast. Anything else you need? We're going to the junkyard.
Okay. Are you two going with Armand then, and just Tara and I are going to the junkyard, or are all 4 of us going to the junkyard?
The meeting is in the morning, so
Meeting is an evening.
evening. So all right, let's go to the junkyard.
All right.
To the junkyard.
But also to that point, I don't know what purpose a scrapper couple would serve in that audience.
Well, that's why they are waiting
No,
for outside.
We're not going to the meeting.
Right.
We're
That's
just
what I was just making sure.
no. Unless shit hits the fan, I don't intend to do any political nonsense here.
They
Yeah,
will
I
be
ain't going to no meeting.
sitting outside in the raptor wagon.
No skullduggery for me today, boys.
Can we get a gif of that? Like, to the raptor wagon!
I was going to say I'm skullduggery.
God fucking damn it.
Yeah.
To the raptor wagon. That's
Yeah. Go to the raptor wagon.
need,
Lancius is gonna quickly.
we
He's
need
gonna
the
quickly
starting
talk to
page
the
do
raptors.
spin.
It's a new
To the
day.
raptors.
Good morning.
He's
It's
gonna
nice to
feed
see
them.
you both. Here's your meat pies. Ow!
To the raptor wagon.
The pie. The pies.
Why
Get it,
do you
Anthony?
continue? Why do you continue to try to feed them? They don't like you. I tell you this every day.
In persistence. Have you ever heard of the propinquity? Propinquity system. You keep trying, and eventually you will build up a connection. Propinquity.
Albel turns and looks at the raptors. You can keep biting him. It's okay.
They're gonna keep biting him. They
I
said so
figured.
It's
themselves.
all
I
right. It
approve.
doesn't hurt.
They
It
said
just
we,
annoys me.
they said we plan on it.
And she looks at them and goes, I know you can't understand me, honey, but please don't take a limb off. We need to survive.
And then we do need those limbs.
We do need those limbs, honey, but other than that, go for it.
Okay, let's just point me in the direction of the junkyard.
Can do. I'll point.
God, we're gonna find out later on that the relationship that Atlas and the Raptors will eventually develop is the uncle that comes over to your house and rests with you.
Mm-hmm. There's always a raptor chewing on your head at any given time.
Atlas, dinner's ready. What? Raptor.
All right, yep, we're heading for the junkyard.
Okay.
Elvis plays unironically in the background.
So, the junkyard is going to be a quick walk to where you need to go. You got the raptor cart with you, I'm assuming? Is that what I heard?
Oh yeah.
Okay. You're going to be able to find everything you need here just by spending enough time doing it. You don't need to do any rolls or anything like that unless you're looking for something truly exotic that would not have any business being here. Part of the reason why I wanted the list of rare items for this was, Albel, you're going to find a bunch of materials that are going to give you creative inspiration.
Hey!
That are going to be for things that might help people out. But you're going to find everything you need plus the materials to make those rare items everybody was looking for.
Woohoo!
Junkyard had mithril. Weird.
Not really. It's used in the construction of something that was scrapped at the junkyard. It's vital for that machine. Like it can't be built without it. Like it just needs it.
Mithril byproducts.
Albel, there's
Wheat
mithril.
and wheat. There is. Grab it.
He said, "This is a little cracked. I don't know if this is good." She's like, "I don't know if this is
She looks-
good." Grab it.
Just pick it up. Put it in here. I'll smelt.
Okay.
Lancius tries to lift it, and he's just like, nah, and looks at Cyrus.
Just like taking.
You just see him strain, and he's like,
I
nah.
just don't.
It's
don't.
super lightweight.
Yeah.
Like
I just don't. I'm just like shoveling with a shield.
Atlas comes
looking
over, grabs what Lancius is holding, and lifts the piece and Lancius.
She looks at Lancius and goes, "Sir, I have seen you pick up an engine block by yourself." I got nothing, bro. And then she turns around and goes to dig in another pile.
Just digging holes. I'm like, put the shit in. I was like, all right, this will be my found pile. We'll just put shit in here. We'll separate here. All right.
She hands you a bucket and a plastic shovel, pats you on the head. We have sandwiches at the picnic basket.
I'm just holding this shovel that's like smaller than my hand. I was just like, what am I to do with this?
All right.
Beach day! It's the beach episode, everybody. Anyway.
No, not
We
again.
get all our
Don't
shit.
do another 5 days.
I said, don't talk about the beach episode. We don't talk about the beach episode.
Albel, what beach episode?
We'll be here a year from now. IRL.
5 days. 5 days.
Ay.
Jeez.
All right. What next, Eric?
So we find the things.
You find everything you need. It's kind of like, how are you going to handle that? What you're building you got to build everything up still. So what are you doing after junkyard? Like I don't know. Like you find your stuff at your junkyard.
We would probably just work on construction and then meeting. I don't know if we had any other plans.
Okay. So if you do the construction thing, you have time to make all of the things that you were looking to make or that you wanted to make today. So
I'm gonna.
Okay. So you are able to construct those dragoon boots, and everybody can get their rare item that they were looking to make. Or
I don't know
what they
what
wanted from the wish list. What?
I keep looking at my other monitor and going, Atlas. Oh, he's not over here.
So what rare items did Albel end up making for everybody?
I gotta find it again.
I have the Seraph shield. In crisis, I ignore all. I'm immune to status effects.
Okay.
It also gives me +2 defense and +2 magic defense.
Ooh. So you're even more tanky than normal.
More tanky. More wall.
Ah, that's what I wanted. Lancius got the dragon trap bow.
Ooh.
Okay. What's that do?
So, when you hit a flying target with this weapon, you may force the target to land immediately.
Good. That just ground him and we'll beat the fuck out of him. Great.
Yep.
But
Get his ass!
Come up and gank him. Like it's like a scene from a cartoon where everybody jumps on him at once, and there's just like a cloud of dust.
Literally. He was like, "Oh, you thought you were safe in the air? No."
He tries to get away. Fucking Atlas soaring strikes him, pins him back to the ground again. No! Speaking of, Atlas got Morrigan, which is Dex and Might +1. It now allows my attacks to be dark themed. And when I hit one or more creatures with this weapon, I may recover 10 mind points, which allows me to do nastier stuff longer.
Okay. Okay.
Cool. Albel comes out with hers last out of the forge, and it is a strange, very thin blade, almost rapier-like, but there's something off about it, like it's slightly too wide. And as she like picks it up, and it's got like a dragon motif going around the hilt, as she picks it up, the tail of the dragon starts extending and sliding down her wrist to about here, and then spawns chains that shoot up her arm and across her chest, attaching to a pauldron. It's Save the Queen, which is a reskinned Excalibur. I had this open and then I put it down to explain because who I am as a person. So we all know what Excalibur is. Two-handed melee, immune to all status effects, with the addition of light damage. Holy damage. You gotta have my sword.
Big sword.
She
Okay.
can't. It's literally gripping her, so she can't put it down. Like she can't be disarmed.
I was gonna say,
totally
can't
be
put it
disarmed.
down, can't lose it.
I just put the Dragoon boots in my inventory at theme, no function. I don't know.
So what those are going to do essentially is allow you to substitute your basic attack for a soaring strike. And because that's replicating a spell effect, I'm going to say you can use that once per scene.
Ooh.
Because there's no magic points that are necessary for its use. Does that sound fair?
All right, I got that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Alrighty,
Once per day kind of thing.
All right.
Holy hell. You used a weapon belonging to the brawling or spear category for this attack. It deals 5 extra damage. That's Soaring Strike.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And he uses
That
a
is
spear.
cool.
I am
Yeah.
very nasty with Soaring Strike.
I love it. That's so cool.
And it's one of my normal spells, too.
Ayy.
So you get 1 free casting per combat with it, which is a neat little. I don't know what I would call that, rare artifact or a rare accessory. Say
I also specifically took acceleration to make those even more broken. I literally took haste to make you worse, like more deadly.
It's called the Boots of Where You Going.
They're legit. These boots were made for walking. Actually, no.
There you go.
Leaping.
Those boots were made for leaping, soaring, even.
Yeah, so those are going to be accessory slot items.
Already got it.
Okay. Perfect. So anything that we're doing for the rest of the day?
Atlas will take them around to some of the favorite haunts that him and Cyrus like to go when they were on. When we were loose in Kholigen, waiting for Armand to come back out from whatever he was doing, which is a nice little coffee place. They sell cakes there. Just kind of taking them on the town for a bit before this meeting. I don't know if Cyrus wants to go anywhere, if anybody else wants to do anything.
There's nowhere specific. If anything, it would just be wherever we would have downtime, waiting for the next mission.
It's like a maple bundt cake with icing on top of it. It's amazing.
So
I'm a little more partial to the crumbles.
So
and the crumble.
While you're doing your little trip around town, you're gonna note one thing I do want to notice. You're not noticing any wanted posters for you guys up, and the city guard is not in any way interacting with you weirdly.
Okay.
I don't like that.
I will say, point of note for the 3 of you, Lancius normally doesn't have his hood up for his outfit. In this city, his hood has been up the whole day.
Is the sun hurting you, my friend?
What?
Is the sun ailing you, my friend?
No, why?
Just noticing the hood up. Normally, when people have their hoods up, it's to maintain disguise or because the sun is causing them a bit of a heat problem.
She holds up a hand to Atlas. He's an elf, honey.
Ah. Well, if anyone has a problem with you, they'll answer directly to me. And I assure you, nobody wants to answer directly to me.
There's just one person. I don't really. It's a thing. It's not worth the headache right now. It's just one person. I really don't want them to know him in the city. Just unless we really need something.
Have they harmed you?
If shit hits the fan, then we'll worry about it. But until then, nah.
Pops open a notebook. Tell me who the bitch is. I will
Not
add them
bitch.
to my.
Who's the bitch? We'll kill him.
It's not a bitch. Just Eric, I am spending a fabula point right now.
Okay.
Lancius's eldest brother, Ionthus, is an ambassador to Kholigen from his hometown. And they do not get along very well. So that's what he's hiding from. He doesn't want his brother to know he's in town.
Got it.
Drama!
Yeah, so after some prodding, finally he's just like, Listen, my eldest brother Ionthus Keladon is the ambassador here, and
Did everybody freeze? Oh, technical difficulties.
Don't worry, we will save you. Oh, he's back.
That was weird. I got everybody froze for me for a moment there.
everybody
legit
froze
lost
on my
full
end too.
connection,
So.
yeah. I had to
Everyone
leave and
froze.
restart.
Except me and Spike.
My
Probably because
computer
we're
is still good.
20 minutes away from each other.
It's better now.
Oh man.
We're good
You know,
now.
Oh, no.
Okay, brother Ionthus Caledon is a ambassador. You don't want to be spotted by him, and then
Yeah.
it cut off.
And you know, like, you know how you're supposed to do like the noble thing when you're a noble, you go into a place where your family is. You're supposed to meet up with them, drink tea, and do all that hoity-toity stuff. I just don't want to do it because I don't like him. But if push comes to shove and we need to like get out of a situation, I can be like, hey, listen, and throw that card out there. Just I don't want to.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's understandable. Besides, if we need to get out of a situation, we'll probably be more than able with us here.
Being the fifth kid in a noble family, most of them don't like you because you're the baby and you get spoiled, and they just don't like me that much.
Huh. I had the same experience. And I'm the only child. Huh.
I was an only child, and my parents both died. Man,
Only
we
one
are.
of mine died.
Our family wasn't blood, but we would give shit to the youngest. But there was never any. You would hope that he brought whatever ailed him to us.
Carbuncle has appeared.
She has. She was making weird noises. Where you going? Oh, he's not that scary. I can promise you, Spike is a nice guy. Come back.
No, he's a
Animals
bad
just don't
man.
like Cyrus or Atlas. Just don't like Atlas at all.
He's a bad man. He does bad
yeah,
things
so-
to people.
All right, so you two are going to the meeting.
Yeah.
You if my brother's there, you'll recognize him. He's about like 6'9", real big pointy ears, bright red hair. Just yeah, you'll recognize him.
Why is everybody so damn tall in this place?
You're a sequoia?
Listen, he's the tallest in the family by a lot.
I feel like I get shorter every
I
day.
didn't hope so, honey.
I need to stop measuring myself.
Wait, Lord
But-
Jesus.
No, we'll keep an eye out.
So yeah, just let me know what he says in this meeting if he's there. If he's not, just don't worry about him.
Drama.
Well,
Good
good
luck
to
in the
know.
meeting.
I didn't think it would be a. I didn't think after everything this was the contract negotiation or the what did we call it? Not consecration, but
The
the
concordance.
thing for the concordant
Concordant.
for the
I didn't think this
mercenaries.
would become. I
So
didn't
if he
expect
is
this to
there-
become such a bizarre adventure.
If he is there, it will be interesting to see what groups have also been invited to this.
Quick BRB. There we go.
I want to spend a fabula point because I sense that we're getting close to the end of the night, and I'm just going to recover it on the next day.
on the next session.
Yeah.
We need to get to this meeting. Like, we at least need to get that done tonight.
Oh no, we're gonna do the meeting. The meeting is gonna
Okay.
be the after the meeting is gonna be the cutoff.
But yeah, the other problem is only one Fabula point has been spent, and until we manage to get to 5 Fabula points, it's still just 1 point.
Yeah. Okay. So meeting time is coming due soon. Armand's going to show up somewhere where you guys agreed to meet up beforehand, and be ready. He's going to wave Atlas over and Cyrus. And are we going to go do this?
I'm gonna wander up to him and clap him at the elbow for a handshake.
He takes your hand, does the handshake, gives you kind of a weak smile.
I have your back.
This is the part we need to play to figure out what's going on here. Let's not make any hasty or rash decisions while we're in there. We also don't know what other companies could be our friends here. Some of them could be allies and some could be enemies.
We'll certainly find out once we get in there. And with all due hope, it's nothing. Just an everyday concordance. And who knows? Maybe we can have them ally with us against some.
Yeah. No matter what, this isn't good.
No sense in wasting time.
All right. So he's going to turn and he's going to start walking off in the direction. Let's go do this.
I just look over at Atlas and arms crossed, give a nod, and head in.
And Atlas will nod as well.
So you guys make your way through the city streets up toward the God, what do I want to call this building? The Hall of Justicars. Or Hall of Justicars. The guard here they're still Kholigen guard, but they're wearing fancier armor. These are more of an elite group of troops. So whereas standard guards are wearing, we'll say, a combination of leather and chain, these ones have a combination of plate and chain with a much fancier tabard that goes over them. They're wielding spears and a sword on their hips. Sudden recasting of characters.
Oh, with the videos move around when you turn off a camera.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Part of Albel will be played by Dragon.
I have a
God,
solution for that.
Who's playing me currently?
Nobody. Everybody's back at their proper positions. And I have a solution for that problem for future games. But okay, so you get to all the Justicars. You got the elite honor guard guarding the gate. Armand pulls out a summons scroll, which you guys have seen multiple times over the years that you've had to come to these concordances. Atlas, Cyrus, you've both been to at least one before. This isn't part of your normal duties, but it is something that you have been exposed to in the past since you're pretty senior and up there members within the Lions and other affiliated groups over the years. So you've seen how these things play out. You know what to expect. Doors swing open. Oh, go on.
I was just saying, while we're in, I'm just looking for who is here. Like, is it a who's who of who's usually here? Is it like just heads of mercenary groups? Is it looking for any new symbols? Looking for the new symbol we've encountered.
Gotcha. None yet. But you do notice that, yeah, it's a who's who of mercenary captains and free company captains. Like practically every group in the area is being represented here. The Golden Hawks, the Copper Boars, the Sapphire Fish, like every combination of metal and precious gem and animals are here. That seems to be a pretty common naming convention in this in the lands of Kholigen.
The bismuth octopus.
Yeah. Oh.
That low key slaps.
The slab. Bismuth squid is pretty good.
Hey, yeah.
Isn't it that like liquid that grows crystals in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It grows in a cubic matrix.
Yes.
There is a guy on TikTok, for anyone interested, who melts down bismuth and then blasts the canister with sound waves. Like, you can pay him to do a song or vote for a song, and then he sells the crystal in whatever cubic format comes out of it, specifically as that song, and he blasts it for like 3 days or whatever while the crystals grow. Fascinating process, really.
God, could you nope, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there.
What?
No, I'm just thinking of bismuth tentacles. That would be pretty weird.
That'd be a hell of a club.
Oh.
It looked
Like
really cool.
Yeah.
I like the idea. I like the idea that their real name is Bismuth Octopus, but people just call them squids.
Hell yeah. I'm sitting here like, what the hell would you do with rhodochrosite? Like, sorry, I was going into geology, so I could sit here for a while having fun.
But yeah, everybody's here. There's a huge banquet table set up. Everybody's got their seat. All the captains have their seats set with nameplates, and there's a spot for 2 people at each next to each one of the seats. So it's always assumed that each one of these people are going to bring 2 with them, 2 aides with them to these meetings. And you're going to recognize several of the people here. Everybody's just kind of milling about for a few minutes. And then you're going to notice, too, of some of the Justicars start to make their way in. Kholigen is ruled, in theory, by a monarch. But in all practicality, it's done by a council of Justicars, where each major town, not the little villages, but major town or region, sends in a representative. How they determine who this representative is up to that region. Some of them are elected democratically, some of them buy their way onto the position, some of them are hereditary. These are the people that function sort of like a senate. They're the ones who have most of the real power when it comes to the Kingdom of Kholigen. From their number, they elect a High Justicar. So that is the person who has the majority of power in all practical sense within the kingdom. The royal family can override them, but it's very rare that they do. So they're making their way in. They're having their seats, and they bang on the table. I think we're going to call this meeting to order. If everybody would find their seats.
You said it's only 2 Justicars that came in?
No, all the Justicars from the area came in. There are 2 seats next to each captain available. So Armand, you would be the 2 aides, and then each other captain would have 2 seats for their aides as well. Clickety clackety.
It's like notes. Notes being taken. Notes being taken.
So one of the local Justicars, calls the meeting to order. As that happens, the High Justicar, this is going to be a guy named Fritz von Skyfire. I like Fritz von Skyfire. He's in a lot.
Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah, I use him in a lot of my games.
Who shot Fritz? Anyway.
He makes
Fucking
his way
Skyfire.
and he's got his full regalia on, and at his side, he's got his scepter of sorts, and he sits down at the head table, which is actually in the middle of the length. So he doesn't sit at the head or the foot at the table. His position is dead center of the table, long ways.
And he's the ruler?
He's the head Justicar, so like the president of the Senate, the prime minister. He's chosen by the council of all the Justicars from the areas. He's elected from that group.
Does he look like a bitch?
No.
Yes.
Fritz does not look like a bitch.
Right.
Fritz,
Senate Majority Leader
Yeah.
Skyfire is crazy.
yeah. Fritz does not look like a bitch.
Head Justicar Skyfire. Oh, that's good.
He has quite a reputation of being kind of
That-
no nonsense as well.
That is the name of a freaking mid-game boss.
Yeah, did
And
we just
you're
get a
all-
fabulous point?
Huh?
Did we just get a fabulous point?
No.
Okay, so he's not a bad guy.
The villain did not enter the chat.
Damn
Did
it!
not enter the chat.
Okay, so that means that this is the guy that, like, attempts to join us halfway through, but then dies dramatically, and we never recover, right?
No, he could also be the guy who starts out allied to us, then in a turncoat betrayal betrays us. Then we get our fabula point.
Okay, there we go.
He's not a villain yet.
Yet. With a name like that, he's gotta be somebody.
He was the chosen one.
He's chosen from the council. He's the guy. All right, everybody. Welcome back for our 20th Concordance of the Free Companies of Kholigen. Good to see everybody was able to make their way and return. We need to set the terms for the upcoming year's contracts for monster hunting, for regional defense. And I hope that we can make this a productive meeting. And he's going to look around the table. Does anybody have any requests for these contract negotiations? Armand's going to look over at you and go, seems pretty normal so far. What do you think? And he's going to whisper that to both you and both Atlas and Cyrus. He's going to keep staring straight ahead.
Depends if we're going to beseech this man for aid. We could also play strong. Demand for a higher contract. Act like nothing happened. But if we trust this man and think he's going according to plan, I would say let the cards fall where they lie. Bring it to his attention in the mid.
Let's see what he offers before we do anything.
While you're having that in conversation between the three of you, somebody's going to stand up. He is... Which one of these groups do we want to go with? He is the leader of the Golden Eagles. What's his name?
Fucking Jiraiya.
I like Jiraiya. Let's go with that. His name's
Oh
Jiraiya.
my.
Get a little Naruto going.
Like this fucking guy.
He's gonna stand up, and I mean, he's the Golden Eagles are known for one thing: it's being a bit arrogant. They take after their namesake of eagles, and they definitely love the gold. And he's gonna say, "Well, as it so happens, Fritz, my group here, we've been spending lots of money on the new airship designs that we've been coming out with, our new interceptors, and we've been using them to patrol the skies of the capital. And we think that a 20% increase in our monthly would be fair compensation for the year to come." Fritz.
Now, when he says this, is he talking about just for them?
Yeah, just their standard pay would be. This is.
These fucking people.
You say that out loud?
I say it
Say,
under my breath. Like, I will look at Atlas and it's like, hey,
he says, picking up the bottle of wine, like, fuck yeah.
Is it
I'd
loud
be
enough?
drinking too.
Is it loud enough that anybody can hear you?
That's a mighty strong take you're taking. What have you done to them lately?
He's gonna crane his head over toward you and kind of give you the look up and down. Listen here, kitty cat. It's more than fair takings, considering the amount of effort that goes into research and development and the amount of money we spend on fuel to keep these skies safe.
Research and development, you say? Is that why I found most of your airships? Seems you're wasting more than you're actually committing.
Albel's gonna lean over to Lancius. I sense a disturbance in the force.
I assure you.
My computer went, oh shit!
So while this banter is going on between you and Jiraiya over to Albel and Lancius, you're gonna hear something kick sound wise, Albel, and that's gonna be the sound of Falcon 4 engines.
No!
Now,
Fuck!
You look up, and they're not doing this hovering thing where they're going to come and get you, so you can feel quite safe about that. But they are going toward the building, the Hall of the Justicars, where they are heading for their meeting.
They're gonna carpet bomb it!
And they're docking at one of the top towers.
Okay.
This one, though, is not... It docks, okay? Top tower. A few minutes later, far off in the distance, opposite, not coming from like the direct opposite way that one came, but like perpendicular somewhere, you're going to notice another airship coming, and this one's going to be quite a bit larger than the one. Not substantially larger. It's not the big one. It's not the big flagship.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But this is more of a carrier.
No, don't say that. That's not better. I'm not okay.
Lancius is just gonna look at Albel and be like, "That's not good, is it?"
No, move now. We're going out there. And she books it towards the cast. We have to keep them alive. Those are Empire ships. We're gonna go get Atlas and Cyrus, honey. Come on.
Okay.
All right. It's following.
Swoop back over to Atlas, Armand, and Cyrus.
Full ass pet.
There's been some banter going. Like, there's been some back and forth. They didn't settle on 20% for that increased compensation for the Eagles. The High Justicar said that they'll do 12%, and that was final. Yeah, there were some salvage rights that were discussed amongst all the groups. Even Armand got involved in that conversation for when the company comes across any kind of outside technology or from any of the ancient Magitech facilities that are dotted across the countryside, what happens there. And then Fritz, you guys are all eating dinner, you're having your drinks, and it's at this point Fritz sets his wine glass down and goes, there is one last matter at hand. And
Lando! No, I'm fine.
That is we have been approached with a treaty of peace from an outside nation. And coming down from the stairs, and coming out of the back entryway where the Justicars are meeting in their private offices, Dorian saunters through from behind the curtain and gives a sly smile to Armand, Atlas, and Cyrus. He doesn't say a word. He smiles and nods, noticing Atlas and Cyrus, and takes his seat next to the Justicar. And he says, in his just completely assy tone that everybody has learned to hate.
Smarmy ass motherfucker.
This swarmy motherfucker. Friends, I come offering the standard of peace. I've met with some of you individually already. The Justicars have been so kind to host this dinner. I've met with the royal family as well, and they all seem to be receptive to this offer. They did say, though, that there was one obstacle, and that obstacle was this room. So I'm hoping that we can come to an accordance of peace between our two great nations so that we can make this world truly great in one unified image.
Do we get a fabulous point for villain entering the chat?
You get a fabulous point for villain entering the chat.
Atlas will stand up on this one. Peace, you say? And I suppose none of them denied you and found themselves in rubble, now did they?
Not one group here has been attacked by myself. Everybody we're here underneath the banner of peace.
Then explain this. And I'm going to kip the Empire logo across to him. Or to the head Justicar Skyfire. Your men attacked the Silver Lions.
Are you talking to the Justicar or to Dorian?
I skipped the emblem across to the Justicar, but now I'm talking to Dorian as I say, your men attacked the Silver Lions, left them all dead. You were only chased off by efforts made upon the parts of my group. After you offered us peace in a battlefield of dead bodies, it would seem fit that you would make this entire room the same if they were to try and deny you. Wouldn't it, the rot?
You know how much I dislike that name, and I'll be honest, yes, I did have to put down some troops, some rabid animals that attacked me and my troops when we offered the standard of peace. They attacked us when we were being nothing but peaceful. And we did defend ourselves. We fought back. And unfortunately, several men lost their lives on both sides of this conflict. It wasn't just, sadly, the Lions, who were hopelessly outclassed when it came to tactics and firepower that day. And you can notice when he says that, Armand's hand is clenching down on his sword. It's looking like he might do a leap here.
So safe to say that you decided to eliminate an anthill, and yet you found them threats?
They would not stop their attack.
And you just so happened to hang around long enough, surveying the damage, waiting for me to arrive.
If you remember correctly, when you did arrive, I offered peace, and you all attacked me. I was not the aggressor.
You offered peace. We refused. And you countered by saying that the Empire would rain hell down upon our lands if peace was not attained.
I did say that. That is something that is very true, and which is why I was sent ahead to secure peace between our two nations. And we're going to break there. Albel and Lancius, you're running through the streets, dashing toward the hall of the Justicar. This large carrier ship has gotten close enough. It's getting ready to dock, and it's flying a standard of another Imperial general, not a captain, but one of the generals. And his moniker is the Beast. He is not known for peaceful solutions. When
Oh God.
when diplomacy fails and the Empire isn't able to get what they want through words, they send him to take it. There is one thing that you do know from your time back in the Empire. Him and Dorian do not get along. Dorian views him as a low-class brute that is better left in his pen. A reckless animal that has no place on anywhere except for a battlefield. And even then, only on the shortest of leashes.
She is explaining all of this to Lancius while they're running. And she says, we've got to get there fast because I'm going to start a fight. We can use this to our advantage. If we can get them to fight each other, I'm not entirely sure that they might not know the other is here. Lancius, we're going to start a fight.
So okay.
She looks at him while she's still running. We're gonna get the Rot and the Beast to fight each other. Because if they're fighting each other, they're not gonna be worrying about anybody else. And we might be able to get people out alive.
Do you not think there's enough people here that could fight the people that just showed up?
Well, considering they're both parts of the Imperial military, I am fairly certain that whatever troops came with the Rot will unify under the banner of the General instead of their immediate commander. So no, they're going to turn around and fire in unison on the Justicars and the attendants of the meeting at a word from the Beast. All he has to do is say kill them. We've got to get there now.
Okay.
I would like to spend a Fabula point.
Go for it. What are we doing?
The raptors come running around the corner, having ripped the front of their yokes out of the cart itself.
Okay.
And we're going to get them out of their chains and ride them.
All right. So, you're riding up to the step. You're riding up to the building. We'll cut right back over. Your back and forth with Dorian has gotten to a point where the High Justicar is okay, enough. Whatever happened there, we can hold tribunal on that. If Dorian is found guilty, he'll face the justice of our laws. But that doesn't negate the fact that he is right now a diplomat and an emissary from the Empire, seeking to create a truce between our nations. So we have two things we need to do. We need to discuss his terms for peace, what he wants, and if this is going to be acceptable to us. And if it is, we vote. The Justicars will take your vote into consideration and then sign any applicable treaties. And then the Justicars will meet with the heads of the free companies, and we will decide whether or not crimes have been committed that warrant a tribunal. If they do, Dorian will face tribunal. And he smiles and he says, absolutely. It's always been my goal to unify the nations without the need for bloodshed. I would gladly stand trial by the laws of your land. We don't seek to take away what you have. We just want to bring together a more unified, and that's when the airship's going to dock upstairs. You guys are going to hit the you're going to still, Albel and Lancius, you're still going to be able to see the departure from that airship. And there's going to be something leaving the airship besides the general, besides the Beast. Like, he is unmistakable. He is a massive mountain of a person. But there's a 6-legged Magitech armor coming off the ship ahead of him. This is really odd though, because it has the standard Imperial design on the metal, but they're also, because you have levels in what were your magic levels again? Elementalist?
I took one from
or Entropist?
I think I took one from each. Let's see. It looks like Elementalist and Entropist.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect.
No Spiritist yet.
So you're gonna notice on this like 6-legged barrel-shaped Magitech armor looking thing that there's etchings on it, and it's giving off kind of like, you can feel the magic, and it's giving off a demonic energy. Like they're using a demon as the core.
Did you just drop Omega Weapon on my head?
No, I did not drop Omega Weapon on your
head. Thank God, because we were... I was going to get in a fight with the narrator. No, I'm just kidding.
I wouldn't drop Omega Weapon at this level.
Okay, like, give me like 2
Nice.
levels.
No.
Can I spend a Fabula point to give Dorian the screaming squirts?
No. That's one I will deny.
Spend a Fabula to shoot him in the head. Like,
No, but this is kind of like, so the thing about Imperial power armor, some of the designs that you knew that they were tinkering with, but you didn't, like, they weren't quite ready yet, was using different elemental sources as piloting cores. This is one of the things you might have been worried about with your original design, where instead of doing what you wanted to do to create control cores for them, or pilots, instead they were going to infuse literal demons and have them take over the armor and kind of function as a dog brain for it. Like they're not really in charge of themselves anymore. They're just kind of like a control matrix. They react at the speed of and can still tap into some of the power of the core, but not all of it. So if that demon had fire abilities, it's possible this armor has fire abilities. If it had ice abilities, it's possible it has ice. And it's capable of making independent decisions on its own.
I don't like that.
So that's something that you knew that they were tinkering with, but that was a different division from what you were working in. But it wasn't as good as what you were trying to do. This is still crude technology, and it comes with a lot of risks. And one of them is loss of control of the unit. It is possible that these units could snap to their senses and start acting on their own again. But now you're not just dealing with one, you're dealing with a juiced up.
As they roll up, she goes, "Oh, look, a barrel full of monkeys." And no one was surprised. Ugh. Okay, we gotta get up there.
Okay.
And break in the doors, still on the raptors, and ride the raptors up the stairs.
Okay. So you do that. You're going to barrel through like the meeting doors. Like this, the guards are going to try and stop you as you're going in, obviously, but you're on raptors. Screw them. They can't do anything. You're on raptors. They're going to get in your way. A raptor's going to grab them and toss them. And you're going to kick the doors in, and they're going to kind of like, the raptors kick the doors, not you, and you're in. Everybody is going to turn around and look at you. Dorian's going to
I'm going to jump off the raptor and onto the table and look Dorian dead in the eye and go, "Hi, honey, I'm home."
The prodigal daughter arrives, and as he finishes saying that, the clanking comes out from behind the hallway into the back. You can hear it, and you just hear the word, "Dorian!"
"Oh, I'm the least of your problems, darling."
And he gets this disgusted look on his face. And he turns, and that's when the beast just ducks from underneath the doorway and then stands back up. He is, like I said, massive. 7 foot tall easily. His armor is his armor's metal, steel with different overlays, either copper, bronze, brass, and all these overlays are depicting different beasts: lions, tigers, bears. Oh my!
Oh my!
Krakens, squids.
This is good. I think that might be Launce's mother.
Elephants.
Oh God!
Like all different types of animals that, and mythological beasts, natural animals, things that he's fought and killed in single combat, to prove just how savage he is of a fighter.
And I has the candle.
And he's gonna come into the room, and the big Magitech armor is not gonna fit its way down those stairs down this hallway, so it's not in this room. But he did bring a couple troops with him. 2 to be exact, and they're not wearing Kholigen clothes with Imperial patches. They are in Imperial regalia. You were given a simple task: subjugate one territory, one outlanding territory, and you failed to even be able to accomplish that in the time frame you were given. And Dorian's gonna pinch the bridge of his nose. Animal. They let the animal off his leash and sent him here. 1 or 2 more days. At the conclusion of this meeting, even, everything could have been resolved.
So your empire attacks now.
Dorian, you literally were dumb enough to expect patience from the Emperor? Dear God, man. You know better. And she's going to turn around and she's going to face the beast and go, "Are you yet living? I thought that your veins would have leapt out of your neck and strangled you themselves a long time before this beast. The hell did you even get in here? I thought the stones would have shaken apart beneath the Titan's feet." Well, come on then. Try to frighten me.
He's just going to ignore you.
Oh, that's fair.
Continue his stare down of, he's going to look at you and look back at Dorian. And so, His Majesty would wants you to return immediately to the capital. Dorian, no, that doesn't work for me. You should go. I got everything under control here. All you're going to do is
I'm just gonna look at Atlas and I was like, I think we should probably get out of here, yeah.
Albel.
Because I don't want to interact with y'all yet, because I don't want them to see all of us together.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that y'all busted in here, it's like, okay, it's definitely go time. How do we get out of here?
At this point,
Nonsense. Can you make the raptors be a problem?
If we begin to run, it'll be a problem even more.
Sure.
Right now, we stand in a room with Justicars who are trying to ebb war. And war just came. Hopefully, sticks will come out of asses. And they'll understand the threat the Empire is trying to pose.
Right, I'll be on standby.
They didn't believe
Is my
it.
brother in this room?
your brother is in this room at one of the far ends of the table, like that away. And he's got this look of like, the fuck just happened? Like, this was like, he is completely caught off guard here.
I'm going to just speak in Elven to him. I'm gonna drop the hood so he'll see the silver hair, the pointy ears, the family crest on the shoulder. I'll expose the family crest, and in Elven just be like, "Brother, you might want to get the archers now."
He responds back, "Yes, but how?"
You're the ambassador, not me.
There's no you look around the room. There's 2 exits. Where you came from,
They're both blocked.
where you came from, which is
Okay.
not blocked, and where the Justicars offices are in the back. Again, not blocked, but you need to go through the back hallway, which is past the Beast, past the Rot, past all the Justicars, and his 2 brought on troops as well.
Do we get another fabula point for the Beast entering the room?
You do.
Hey!
Oh, Jesus, villains out the ass.
Thank you for
Let's
reminding
just
me.
reset.
Um, so where was I on this? Oh yeah. So Armand's gonna. This is a point where Armand's like, the opening's here. There's the opening, and he's just going to leap forward with draw his sword and go for a stab right at Dorian.
Can I stop him from doing that? Like catch him with my spear and push him back into the seat?
If you really, really want to, yes, you could either do that with a open roll of might and dexterity, or you can spend a fabula point to do it.
And I use my fabula point to do it.
Yep, those are anybody can use a fabula point that's close. So that'd be you or Cyrus or Atlas.
I've been watching the 2 of them. I've been with watching the 2 of them. I have been thinking about making a move, but it's not the time. And without any type of shield, I don't want them to run in. So if I see him move, I will put my shoulder on him.
Appreciate it. If I pull out my spear, I'm going to get stabbed.
Yeah. While Atlas is kind of like not so provoking. Well, he's kind of like a little more in there while I'm back and watching Armand. I'll put my hand on his shoulder and ready a shield, but it's not like fully out. And I just want to say to him, just wait one moment before we do anything rash, right?
They offer you peace, and yet they bring war.
Peace.
Perhaps now the Justicars will open your eyes.
Peace. I don't bring peace. I'm here to tell you right now, bend the knee and accept the membership into the Empire as loyal subjects or be annihilated.
Make me. Big
Stupid
man.
idea. Why the hell would we do that?
You know fully what I'm capable of.
Yeah, and I don't give a shit. You know what I'm capable of. You can pretend like you don't know me. And yet everyone in here can tell that you don't know how to handle my being here.
We're getting spunky. Give me a kiss.
No, give me a kiss.
Is he talking to the duck?
It's the duck. It's the duck.
Quack.
Quack.
It's the duck. Give quack.
Give smooch.
The wife is in the doorway and saying goodnights.
I love you, wife.
You too.
Yay! I'm special. You're not, Spike.
I know, right? I got this.
What are you doing?
Try to lean in for a kiss. Don't go.
So,
This is adorable.
yes, I know fully what you're capable of with your gadgets and your toys, but we're not in a position for you to have any of your gadgets or toys. I don't see any of them here. You're far from your workshop and out of your element and your depth.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of element. About that. And I would like to spend 2 inventory points
Okay?
and pop a Fulgur Magisphere out of my pocket
Okay.
and just go, catch. And we have a fabula point.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to use that to fill this entire room with a lightning arcing directly at him.
Okay.
So there's like the air is, you know those what are they called? The orbs where you poke them and the static electricity brings the like
Plasma.
purple thing.
Yeah, the plasma.
Yeah.
balls.
Those things. It's like that, but all directing at him from all around the room at once.
Okay. So basically, it's like a standard casting of Fulgur.
I guess, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. All right. What do I need to do?
I can't remember. Spells have set damage, and it gets applied to. They have a chance to resist based on their magic defense. Now, Fulgur.
It says up to 3 creatures, 10 times T. Weave electricity into a wave of crackling bolts. Each target hit by this spell suffers HR plus 15 bolt damage.
Yep.
Each target hit by the spell suffers dazed.
Right. So, okay. So that 10 times T is the magic.
So she rolls a hit.
Yeah, so you're going to have to roll a hit. Your roll to hit is insight plus willpower. And the damage is going to be the high roll plus 15. And since it's only hitting the beast, we only have to worry about his magic defense.
Actually, can I stretch that out so it goes towards Dorian as well?
Sure.
So you said insight and willpower, so that's 2d8. And then plus 15?
Yes.
Sorry.
Well, no. You roll your 2d8 to see if you beat his magical defense, and then the higher of the two plus your 15 is the damage.
Okay, sorry. I've been playing on Roll20, and the rules would be different. All right, that is a 8.
Rolled an 8. All right, their magic defense for Dorian is insight plus 2. He's wearing a meditation robe. And he has a D8, so that's not going to hit him. And then Mutz's Nuts is going to be wearing, because D8 is the lowest magic defense that there is, he is going to be wearing an automation suit. Automaton suit, I should say. It's the closest thing that I could find that I liked. With a regular defense of 11 and insight plus 1, so he has a 9 for his.
So the magic missed.
Missed.
The magic
didn't
missed, but
it hits. It just doesn't do damage.
And it may not have done damage, but this entire room is now chaos.
Yeah. It definitely had an effect. So he's going to catch that sphere, and it's just going to boom, like you said. Electricity is going everywhere. And he's just going to face tank it. And he's just going to drop it on the ground, just whatever's left over, the dust, the brokenness, whatever it is that he caught and crushed in his hand. He's going to brush off his shoulders and go, I'm done. Kill them all. And that's what he's going to say to his troops. And because of where we are at time-wise, at the 2-hour mark, we're going to call it there.
Oh, yes. The fucking Lando. Oh, okay, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh, it was gonna get to everybody's gonna die anyway, but at least there's a bunch of mercs in here too.
I'm curious what they're gonna do, because it's
Right.
very possible. It's very possible that they're just like, whoa, we did not sign up for this. Yeah, we're better than these. And if we got mercs to fight, that's gonna be a whole nother issue.
See, Skyfire is now Lando, so honestly, villain has entered the chat, but
Do you go higher than 3 Fabula points?
Yes.
Yeah. Wait. No, there is a maximum you can have.
Was it?
I can't remember what the maximum is. It might be 3. But
I
there
think
is.
it is. You're not the only kitty on the
You're
screen.
going to be on page 35 or 96. God, I love the index on these books.
I'll look at 96.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be 96.
Ending fabulous points. Does not appear to say.
There is no upper limit to a character's fabula points. In short, you are free to hoard them in preparation for an important occasion. However, spending favorable points is one of the main ways you will gain experience and increase your level in the game. Thus, saving it up will slow down growth of the entire group. So yeah, you could hoard them or you could spend them.
Well, we spend
How
them
many
like
fabulous
crazy.
points were spent this session?
3. 4 now.
4.
So we all gain experience.
5 plus 1.
6.
6.
Oh.
Yeah, so 6 in total.
Yeah, 6. Damn, we're
Yes.
close to leveling. Next session, we'll level.
Yep.
Again.
I'm going to end the stream. Thank you, everybody,
Hey,
for
night,
watching.
guys.
This has been Ronin's Den. Thank you for watching. I'm Steve. That's Eric. Thank you, Tara, Spike, Anthony. Awesome as always. Have a great night.